guys? What's up? How you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a good start to your weekend. Just thought I'd drop in with a short video here, a short live stream for you guys. Really wasn't going to do one tonight. Just trying to hang out and everything. But, you know, given everything that's been going on around us, just been trying to watch everything like everybody else, you know. I think at some level, I think we're all kind of confused on what is actually happening. We can all have a lot of clarity too, but, at the end of the day, are we really going to know what's going on? Probably not. Unfortunately, that's just the way that the cookie crumbles, I guess. But let me say hi to everybody here. Thanks for showing up here. Again, guys, I probably won't be on very long. I just want to give you guys an update and let you know what's up. But I hope everybody is having a good weekend. And the thing is, guys, we're gonna have to stay positive at some level. You just got to let a lot of that stuff just go and forget about it. Listen, if we're gonna be here, and want any kind of quality of anything, of life and stuff like that, you just can't. You can't forget why we even care. And I think sometimes that's what happens, we get so wrapped up in the story itself that we forget why we even care about the story at all. It's really, I see it a lot. And, and especially right now, it's real easy to get wrapped up into that. But, let me just say hi to everybody. Sparky, first one in here. Good to see you, bud. Jacqueline, G513, 2103, baby. Skynet, Samantha, IG, how you doing, girl? Linda, Lori, George, good to see you. Hacksaw, Allie, great. Linda, G513, Apple Brooks, Amir, Heather. Hey, what's up, Dudette? Jill, good to see you. Oh, you asked about that song. It's Thomas Rhett, plus a lot of other famous country singers. Who else is in that? Keith Urban is in that song. Reba McEntire. A lot of big name country singers are in that song. It was on the radio quite a bit for a while. Then it just kind of died off. I don't know why, because it is a really good song. But we'll just leave it at that. So, hey Jerry, what's up? Quentin, Arizona, Sue. Trying to monetize you. Help. I won't monetize the channel itself. If you guys want to help me out, guys, you guys can help me out. I'll show you where you can help me out at. If you want to. Let's see here. Right here. Here is my PayPal. If you guys want to help me out there, that'd be great. Never expected, always 100% appreciated. Also, let me put this down here for some people. They don't like using electronics for this. So here's my PO box. If you guys want to hit me up there, that's cool. Yeah, guys, there's a lot of stuff going on censorship-wise. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of that tonight. There is definitely, see here. Really? Are you guys having any issues at all on that? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience. You guys having any buffering or anything? Okay. Well, you guys can see what I'm looking at. That's what they're telling me. But if you guys do start seeing that kind of thing, let me know. It's kind of crazy. Sometimes it'll say excellent and we're having really crappy connection, and other times it says this stuff and nothing. So yeah. Taylor touched on something there with Parler. Guys, you got to understand what's happening right now. And if anybody that doesn't know, they pulled the Parler apps off of Android and Apple. And why did they do that? Well, because it's more of a conservative, open-ended, less censored platform. Okay, so you can't even get to, you can't get the app on those two stores. They took them off the app. They took them out of the app. So, Parler's still up, I think. They just took the apps off the stores. So, oh, is it? Is it that? Guys, that's, something else though, guys, listen. Something else you need to take into consideration. If that is actually the case, if you're having issues getting on the Parler, probably what's happening is people are flooding over there. Okay? So, yeah. So if they're flooded over there, what happens to the servers? They get really cram-packed, and it bottlenecks up, and it'll cause issues anybody trying to access it. And so that's probably what's going on. I don't know that, Applebrooks, that's kind of what we're talking about. I don't think it's completely down for everybody. I think it might be down for technical issues because it's getting flooded. I've not seen any reports of them actually shutting it off. I don't know who would actually shut that off. It would have to be like the, what do they call that? Not the FDA, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Where the people that are overseeing the, like the ratings and stuff like that on TV shows. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on that name, but they're the ones that would have to pull that down like that. Yeah, the FCC. Thank you. Awesome. They're the ones that would have to do that. It wouldn't be, somebody, like Google or anybody else. They don't have the power to do that. They would have to pull themselves off, or it would have to be that, like the FCC here. Now, that's not saying that in other countries it ain't happening. But I think more what's going on is because of, the shutdown of taking it off of the app stores, everybody's just now starting to understand what's going on with that. They're flooding over there. People are going to show support in that way. They're going to go over there and they're going to start, becoming subscribers over there on that platform and this, that, and the other. Again, guys, I told you guys in my video earlier today, I've had completely enough with FB. Okay, I'm not even gonna say the name. It doesn't even deserve me to even say it. That group will be getting shut down. My group page there. I haven't had a chance to get over there and do it yet, but just know that I'm shutting that page down. So I would encourage everybody just to whatever, I hate that I have to do it because there is a lot of good sharing of information with us over there anyway. For the most part, people were doing the right thing, but I am not going to be a part of that at all whatsoever. And I was getting, for a long time, people asked me, why aren't you on Instagram? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Do you have a Twitter? Do you have this? Do you have that? No, I got some of those things, but I don't access them with my channel because I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. I'm here for this. This is what I do here, and that's what I do. So, with that being said, just understand that's what's going on with the Parler thing. Okay? And everybody's going to have a different opinion on all that. And I know they will. So, and I think all of us at the end of the day, we can agree that this is not over. This is going to get really, really ugly. And it's not going to get any better. Okay? It's not. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't think it will. Not for this foreseeable future. If they actually do what they're talking about doing next week, it's going to be worse than what, in my opinion, it would be worse than what's going on a couple days ago. At this point, I'm ready just to let it alone, and not, that's why I'm not even really going to try to talk about this specific stuff that's going on with all that. I'm just done with it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys some space weather. It's what you guys are here for, right? Anyway, we got, guys, look, the Schumann. Yeah, it's acting up a little bit. We got some horizontal signatures going on here. But as we can see here, we got complete, activity going on. We got an overall increase in everything here. We're getting rung. Something's ringing us, okay? This isn't something that, because if you go back a couple days ago, most of this was just blue. It's like we got rung and we're just like resonating now at a higher specific frequency that is more of a low humming, I guess is how I would explain it. It's hard to explain this. It really is. There's not really like quote unquote spiking, but this is something that is like a, how I would explain this? It's kind of like a tuning fork. It's like, when you first flick a tuning fork, how intense that vibrational frequency is. You can kind of hear it and feel it. But it kind of fades off. That's almost what this feels like to me. So I think this is probably just going to continue. At least for the next, few days. You can see it over here, guys. These horizontal signatures are the ones that we really need to be paying attention to. Because this will show you, that is a definite, not no 783 hertz. Yeah, reverberation. That's a good way to put it, Art. Yeah, most certainly. Understand, when we're talking about the Schumann, it's between our ionosphere and the surface of the Earth. That's where these frequencies are resonating in. It's not below ground. It's not above the ionosphere. It's in that specific area of our atmosphere. Okay, so that's what's going on there. That's why when you get outside of our ionosphere, such as in space, they have to generate this frequency or the astronauts start having issues. If you're working in coal mines, they have to put this down there for them. Okay? If they don't, they start going nuts. Or, and that's just kind of what our human body is used to, I guess. For lack of a better term. But anyway, you can definitely see this is an uptick in what we have been seeing. But yeah. Let's go here first. Well, I didn't pull up space weather prediction. Hold on. Space weather prediction. Again, guys, we have had some activity. Okay, you seen a little flare here, right at the turn of the day. All right. And I can show that to you guys here in just a few minutes. But notice our geomagnetic activity is really, really low. This is 0. When you see these little bars right here, that's 0. That's 1. So that's virtually no geomagnetic activity. If that continues very much longer, they'll issue a cosmic ray alert. That's what happens. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to put this down here for a minute. Mods, hold it down in there for me, okay, please? I appreciate it. But as we can see here, guys, on the Ace model here, everything's pretty much normal. But one thing I did notice, we had a little uptick here in the density. It was kind of trending up, and all of a sudden it just dropped out. So whatever happened there, it happened. Now the temperature dropped at the same time, so the solar wind, the phi angle started moving the same direction, and the BZ actually went the opposite. So what this is all telling me, all these doing what they're doing at the same time, is everything that's coming at us right this second is probably getting blocked. For what the biggest reason is the BZ. When it's close to 0, the angle isn't quite correct for it to be coming into our system very, very easily. Okay? And plus, if you factor in that everything else, as far as space weather here, is on the decline, yeah, that's why we're seeing zeros on the geomagnetic activity. Now, their predictions, they're not really predicting anything. Okay? So what that's saying is that these filaments I'm going to show you guys here in just a second, they don't think it's going to hit. Now, the one that I'm going to show you here, the second one that I'm going to show you, I don't think it's updated for that one yet, because that one was actually a pretty significant one, and I don't know if it's going to hit us. It's like the one I showed you guys this morning. I told you guys I don't know if it's going to hit us. It looked like it could be coming at us, But I also said, listen, until we get the CME tracker to show us, I can't say for certain whether or not it was. And I'm looking at the CME tracker now. As a matter of fact, we'll just go here now. And this is what you get. Okay? So if you look at when this starts, watch up here at the timestamp. It starts early on in the 7th. Okay? So this is the first one. I've already shown you guys this filament release, or the CME, on seeds. There's a second one now on the same side. It's a filament release again. And I'll show it to you guys here in just a second. But notice what's going on here. See the Parker SP probe? They've got that sucker on the move. They've got this thing going to kiss the sun again, I think. I'm not sure if it's going to get down as far as it did the one time. I'm not really that familiar with that. But you can definitely see it moving. It's moving pretty quick. You got to understand, this is Mercury. So for that satellite, that's traveling pretty quick. And the reason why is they're probably using the magnetics and the gravitational pull of the sun to let this thing kind of pull it in a certain direction and fast. I think that they've actually moved this thing around trying to catch CMEs and all kinds of crazy stuff. With some of the objects and stuff Scott's been showing and catching over there, we've seen this thing kind of get moved in that direction. But at the same time, there's always a CME because of what's going on there. So, we wonder why that's actually, when they send this sucker in motion, is it a planned thing, or are they waiting to see specific things before they put it in motion? I don't have those answers. But, it does look like they've got it in motion now. So, yeah. How do they move it? They control the satellites from here on Earth, guys. They can actually give the satellites software updates from the surface here on Earth. They know how to do that. But they're communicating with it. It's just like communicating back and forth with the space shuttle and stuff like that when they had it up there, or the International Space Station, all that kind of stuff. Navigation can be done from the ground, and that's how they use this thing. They use certain frequencies and they send it out there. Okay, and that's how they communicate with it. Remember what I told you guys? This is stereo A. Well, we had stereo B. It was a blue box over here. It's not there no more. Okay, and the reason why, it's still there. They said we lost communications with it, and then they regained communications. You often wonder, because now we get no data from it, but it's still there, and they still track it. They don't track it on this map, but I can show you them tracking it on another one. So they know exactly where that thing is, and they're communicating with it, but I'm not sure if they don't trust the data, or if they do trust the data and they don't want to show it to us. I don't know, okay? I do know that we were seeing quite a bit of things on that right before that happened. That was back in 2016, 17, I think. Now, both those satellites, Stereo A and Stereo B, got put out there at the same time. What was their goal? They were actually, you see where Stereo A is in relation to the Earth? This was actually further away, and so was Stereo B. They were trying to get a backside view of the sun. That's what this was for. That's why they had those out there. So we could monitor pretty much the whole sun. But they were also in a orbit as such that they were slowly moving back towards the Earth. These satellites are old, guys. They're old. I can't remember what year they went up in there, but I think they're pushing 20 years old. If so that's a pretty good thing. Okay, so here, Ricky, can you tell me what's going on in the model on the right? Oh yeah, I can show you that, Wolfie. That's a good question, by the way. What you guys are looking at here, this is a top-down view of our inner solar system. Okay, you got sun right here, Earth, and then all these boxes and other balls. You got Venus here, Mercury here. These boxes are satellites. One thing I like to point out, you see these dashed lines? You know how I talk about interplanetary magnetic field lines, our connection to the sun and other celestial objects? This is one of those lines. Notice where we see those elsewhere. Everything out here in space, including the satellites, the sun is connected to magnetically. Okay, I like to point that out because it's good information to have. Because it most definitely does affect things sometimes. It shows you. Now watch how Parker SP here just gets moving real fast. You can tell by its interplanetary magnetic field line. Watch what happens. Watch you just take off right here. Woo! See that? That's because it's starting. I think what it's doing is they've sent it in motion, and it's probably slingshotting around the sun. They're probably going to bring it back around. That's what it looks like. Or they could send it over here and have it sit here for a while, because it has before. I don't know what their goal is here. But that's what it's doing. But know that stereo A and everything is actually migrating closer and closer to the Earth. So our view of the backside of the sun isn't quite as good as what it was. Now, this is a side view. This is the sun, this is the Earth. It's like looking at it from the side. This, what Wolfie's question was, you have this orbital line, the Earth's orbital line around the sun, is this line here, but it's stretched out in a straight line. This is stereo A. See it? This is Earth. What this is doing is it's giving us some sort of a depth perception. You're seeing three axes here. Okay, you have to have three. That's your dimensions, right? You got X, Y, and Z. That's what we're looking at. If all three of them show something hitting the Earth, you can most definitely bet that it's going to hit us. That's how they know. That's how we know. That's why we have to look at different perspectives. So when it's showing us hitting us here, and how we know it's hitting us here is you'll see the blur. Let me I'll dive in there a little bit. Okay, watch it. See it? Notice how close that actually is. So we have to keep in mind the sun's 93 million miles away from us, right? So if that calculation of this model is off just a little bit, it could bring it in close to us. We could catch a glancing blow from this. It's happened before. Or it could actually get pushed further away. We just don't know. We don't know exactly until it gets, we get like a 2-hour warning from a couple of our satellites that are sitting out here, okay? But yeah, will it hurt us or the plants? Guys, this is a filament CME. This is a solar storm. Let me explain this, okay? And I'm glad you guys are asking these questions because they're very, very valid questions. And to answer that question, was it going to hurt us? No. What's it going to do to us? Well, if it's big enough and it hits us enough, it can cause us electrical issues and all those kinds of things. The biggest thing that we see, in my opinion, that we need to be paying attention to the most is earthquakes. No, you're welcome, Wolf. Okay? So, just know that. When we start getting these things, these CMEs and stuff, seismic activity is really my main concern. Because if we get that big, huge CME, we're all going to know that it's coming. All right? Because you're not going to be able to miss it. Even if all these satellites I show you guys, we have people that are backyard astronomers that are always looking through solar filters and stuff on their telescopes. They will see something that big if it's coming at us. Somebody will be out here blasting it if it's going to be something really, really huge. Okay, so, even if all this stuff is nefarious right here that we're looking at, we still have that to fall back on. Okay? Yes, this one is pretty close. It almost, and what you're seeing here, you see that little arm kind of reach out? Because it's like buckshot in a shotgun. When you fire that off there, it spreads out. Okay, so the further away it gets, it touches more things. So when we're looking at this, we have to understand that that's kind of like a wake, like a boat going through the water. So it can push stuff over here even though it's not coming right at us. See the angle, the center of it's kind of way over here. but watch the angle of it. Okay, you see how it spreads out. And that's why we want to know the size of them, like the big filaments and stuff. So yeah, those are excellent questions. Now, is it going to, like I said, unless they're G5 storms, stuff like that, that stuff, you know, like I said, it ain't going to do much to us unless we're going to see those kinds of things. The biggest thing is earthquakes and electrical issues if we get big ones. I've shown you guys this before, a bunch actually. Let me show you this again, because people ask, and I'm glad you guys ask. This is what we can expect with a GO1 storm. Notice how many times it happens in 11 years. So that right there should tell you that if it's happening that often and we're not really seeing direct immediate effects, that right there should tell you that it's not that huge of a deal. Okay? It is something we need to pay attention to because our magnetic field is definitely weaker than what it used to be. Now, I'm not going to go through all these again tonight. I do it all the time because I'm not expecting any geomagnetic storm today. So I'm not going to do that. But just know, you can go back and watch some of my other videos. You'll see it there. Okay? Let me go. Okay. Yeah. So, again, this is the CME tracker I just showed you guys right here. This is a NASA model. This one is a NOAA model, Space Weather Prediction Center. Okay, it's kind of showing you the same thing, but not. Okay, you got density up here and you got speed down here. Now you only get two axes to look at right here, X and Y. Okay, so you got a side view and a top-down view. These models very rarely agree with each other. Okay? So when they do agree with each other, typically we will get hit. Okay? But, you know, right now, notice that remember that hump I was showing you guys down here yesterday? It's gone. What this model does, it takes data and it updates over and over and over again, like your local on the 8s on the Weather Channel. It has to, okay? And to me, that's the best thing it can do, because if something changed or it got something wrong, at least it can adjust and go back to it, okay? And get to the right, you know, conclusion as stuff gets closer. Notice how your local forecast, as it gets closer and closer and closer and closer, that it becomes more and more and more and more accurate. That's why, okay? They keep re-updating because it gets new data. The models start changing. So it's all about the model and how the model's built. Whatever data it's taken in consideration and how much of a consideration that it's actually being laid upon for the model to represent this thing visually. Okay? You know, guys, we have to understand that the models itself, it's just, all this is data. Okay? Seriously, it is this in a visual form. That's all that is. It tries to give us, what it does is it lets us have a better understanding. Because you guys know, if you see something with your eyes, what happens? You understand it better, don't you? That makes sense? So that's the whole purpose of a model. And, you know, if it's showing us stuff that's pretty correct, some of these models have some pretty good prediction capabilities. So yeah. But I'm going to talk about something here. Hey, Rick, Justin, third in line. Good to see you guys. Paul, Daisy, Artsy. Hey guys, I'll be going over to Mark Pyers. Hey Candace. Mark Pyers' channel after this. Okay, just so everybody knows, he's going to go live here in a few minutes. I think he may be live now. I'm not sure. But I'm going to talk about something here I haven't talked about before. And that is this. The solar sector boundary crossing. All right, I'm just gonna read this verbatim. I haven't usually talked about this before because number one, it doesn't happen that often. Number two, it does take some explaining. Okay, it says Earth is about to cross a fold in the heliospheric current sheet. Okay, what's heliospheric mean? If you guys don't know that, that means that it is the sun. Helio, sun. Okay, geo. Why do we use the word geo? That means Earth. So when we're talking about heliospheric, we're talking about stuff about the sun. It's the current sheet, and it's wavy. Okay, and so what happens is it has different magnetic polarity in different sections of it. Okay, so when we cross that line into that new polarity part, where the polarity is different, it messes with everything. Okay, so it says the crossing, called a solar sector boundary crossing, is expected on January 10th. In combination with an incoming solar wind stream, could cause geomagnetic activity around Earth's poles this weekend. Okay, this is what we're going to be looking for, but something that they didn't point out is, and I'm going to point it out because I think it's something that we need to look at. That would be the fact that we have these things coming at us too at the same time. Now, like I said, is it gonna get us? Is it gonna hit us? I don't know. Right now, the models are saying no. Okay, but let me show you what this looks like on seeds, because this is they're not small. Did I X out of the seeds? Yep, I sure did. All right, hold on. Okay, first off, seeds. You guys see this diagram up here? This is the Earth. Soho, that's a satellite. Okay, it sits out right in front of the Earth. You see it? And it's always looking at the sun. Notice how it's closer to the sun. That's where this camera is at. That's where this tool is at. It's on that satellite. So it's our view of the sun. It's as if we went outside and looked up at the sun. So that gives us perspective. So we know what we're looking at when it comes to that. Okay? So if we go back to the 6th, we can start time traveling here and going through this thing day by day by day. I already showed you guys this one. This was back on the 6th. Okay? I think that's the day the sun diver dove in there too. I could be wrong. I think it might have been the start of it. Let me see. Nope, would have been on the 7th. Okay, so we'll go to the 7th. Alright, which was what, yesterday? Notice the sun diver coming in right here. See this? Okay, that thing never even made it to the sun. The sun burnt it up. It went away. It's gone. That comet no longer exists. Okay? But notice how we've got, these filaments over here blowing off the sun on the 7th. Okay? It's important to understand that. So we've got these things, and you even seen a couple watch these little jets come out the top and bottom. One at the top, one at the bottom. That means something probably really got shot right at us, because the energy's behind this occulter. This is a black disc. It has to be there or we don't get a capture at all. Alright? So again, this is our view. So anything coming right at us is going to be like blocked by this. We won't be able to see it unless it's real big. And that's when we see the big halo stuff that we talk about. So if we go to the 8th, which is today, watch what happens. I already showed you guys the first one. Okay, here it is. Now watch. That's the first one. And then here's the second one. See it? That's the second one in the same day. The second one was a big filament release. Okay, and I'm going to show it to you guys here in a minute. But that's two of them. This one, this model here, this is the first one. It hasn't updated for the second one yet. You can tell by the timestamp. because it starts on the 7th. This one is on the 8th. Okay, the one I'm showing you now on seeds. Okay, so typically we can go over to stereo A. Let me do this first. Okay, so what I showed you guys there was from this satellite. Now I'm going to show you something from this satellite. I know it says stereo behind, but pretend it says stereo ahead. It's easier to understand it this way. Don't worry about that behind and ahead stuff right now. Well, I'm just going to just know that we're looking at something from the perspective of something to our left. This satellite. The camera I'm getting ready to show you is on this satellite. Okay, so what you're seeing, satellite's here, Earth is over here. How do I know that? Right here. Earth, and this is that satellite I'm showing you right now. That's the difference in perspective we're looking at here, okay? So that's blowing off that way. That's just the first one. Notice how the timestamp stops. We don't have any data after 1300 hours there. The second one didn't start till like 1800 hours, I believe. Maybe a little before that. But because both of these are both going to the right, this one and this one here is showing us that it's going to the right. Remember, these are two-dimensional. So anything that's going that direction or showing up on this side of the graph could actually be going this way, or directly to the right. That's why we go look at the second perspective and we get kind of an idea, could it be coming right at us? This right here is telling me that it most definitely is not going off the back. I still can't give you specific direction unless I come here. And sometimes this thing doesn't update. So we're left at nothing more than just trying to have an educated guess at the direction of it. At least for me. And we can look at data and stuff, but, you know, this right here really is kind of almost what sets it in stone, whether it's going to come and get us or if it's got a good chance of getting us. These models have a certain amount of failure rate built into them. These things are only expected to be right like 70% of the time. So they know it's not going to be right every time. They know that. And they'll tell you that. You can read on it if you want to. Alright, so that's the first one. Now the second one, like I showed you guys here, okay, I don't know what direction that's going. I have no clue right now. Because that CME tracker isn't updating, and stereo A right now hasn't got that data in there. So I don't even know what direction it's going, unless, check this out. Okay, this is the other thing we can do. We come here. This is SDO. This is another satellite. See Soho right here? Remember I said it's our view? SDO sits over here. In front of us too. Virtually in the same position. Just a little bit spread out from that satellite. So this is our view. Okay? So let me zoom in here. Thanks, Bert. Appreciate that. So if we come here and we look at the 304, remember this is the 304 angstrom. It's a wavelength of light. And the reason they do this is so we can see specific things. Our eyes cannot see this gas, cannot see in this angstrom. Okay? The part of the light spectrum is not visible to our eyes. The 304 is not. So they put a filter on it so we can see what's actually there. They can assign this any color they want. It doesn't mean that this gas is actually that color. All it means is that that's what this model has been assigned to show us at the 304. That's it. That's all it's telling us. So what we're looking for here are dark, because this one, they use this one pretty much to look at filaments, and I've talked about that before. They'll stretch all the way across the sun sometimes. They'll be dark looking, like really thin thin string looking things, almost like a snake. Okay, they're nothing more than a magnetic connection line on the sun. That's going from one point on the sun to another. Okay, that's what they are. They're just like a filament in an incandescent light bulb. It's very similar. So when your light bulb goes out on an older style light bulb, for anybody that's over 20, when a light bulb goes out on an incandescent, the filament breaks. The filament's right in the middle, and it's there for a reason, because that's where the light and the heat comes from. If you look at a filament in an incandescent light bulb, what's it look like? It's coiled. Why? You guys know why? Because it causes more resistance. Okay? So when you cause that resistance, it causes heat and light to be generated from that. That's why that incandescent light bulb even works. Quick CME that popped off there, that wasn't even the second one. That was after the second filament release. So that's something else, but that ain't coming at us. That's definitely going the other direction, okay? Because remember, this is as if we walked outside and looked up at the sun. That's the perspective we're looking at. So let me zoom in a little bit further so you guys can get a really good look at this, because it does help, guys. It really does. It'll help you guys understand why we talk about certain things. So what we're looking for are these little dark areas, right? So if I start moving it, you see that? Right where you guys were at. So watch right here. I'll put my cursor here. Oh, shoot. Hold on. So watch right in here. See it? Right here. Okay? And that exploded out. That was that other CME. Or that other filament. Wham. Okay? Now, then we get the flare. I don't know, it's not really a flare. That's a CME. It could be a part of it. I guess it could have some flaring with it. I didn't really see any kind of pattern with that, though. Typically, you'll see what looks like an X. There'll be hash marks, and it takes the form of an X. That's how the tool actually interprets a flare. But as you can see there, that was another eruption. Right there. Okay, well actually, I'm not sure if that was even it. There it was. See it? Now, to give you guys an idea of size here, you could probably fit five or six Earths in that little area right there. That's how much plasma is getting spewed out into space. And that's not even a big one, guys. It's not that big. Okay, see how it's stretching out right there? Can I zoom in any more? Yep. Check that out. I just think that's cool. You know, that's why I show it to you guys. But, you know, this does spread out like buckshot, so there is a slight chance, I guess, we could take a glancing blow. But just judging by that, it really doesn't look like it's coming at us. That one doesn't. But that filament release does. That it could be. And I know it looks like it's going at this angle, but we don't know the angle, because this is still two-dimensional, guys. And why it's so hard to see is because the sun itself is camouflaging it. If we had the background of space, that's why we see more around the edges here. Okay? But notice the dark areas here. Those are filaments, guys. So let me back it up, and we'll look at that filament release again. Okay, notice, see this little snaky looking thing here? That's what it is. That's the filament, and it lifts off right here. Now, sometimes they'll lift off and, you know, break and kind of try to go out, but then the sun actually will recapture all of those particles. So we gotta, you know, we gotta pay attention to that too. So watch that right there. You see how it's doing this? I'm just gonna rock it back and forth so you guys can see that. and it kind of just whips out. That's why it's hard to tell direction on a filament, because we don't know exactly where it let go. So I don't think that that's coming at us, okay? But I will say that, you know, there's always that chance, because these models are wrong sometimes, guys. I mean, I've talked about that before. But here's the 171 angstrom, and I know that this is the one that it shows things more of a, I don't know how can I say this. It's more of a hazy looking overall view, I guess. We're not really going to be able to see the filament itself that well here, but you'll be able to see the explosion, okay? You'll be able to tell when we see it here, okay? So watch what happens, because you'll see it in the corona here also as it leaves. So I'll take it in motion here. See that? That's all you get on this one. Watch. See that? That's what that filament looks like in that angstrom of light. So if we keep moving forward, you might see a little bit more. There's that second one. Right here. Okay? So that's what you get on that one. Now, we can go over here and look at this one. There's stuff going on over here too, but not a whole lot. You guys see that? Watch right here. See that? That's a good example of plasma or a filament standing up there and not releasing off. Watch the sun hold it. See? See how it went back down? It never really exploded out. The sun kept it there. So that's another thing that what happened, Menacing? What are you guys talking about? Sorry. Hold on. Does anybody know if I'm back or not? Let me know. Oh, wow. Okay. Guys, if listen to me here, okay? Listen to what I'm about ready to say. If you guys can hear me. You guys are still hearing me, right? Okay, good. If Mark went out at the same time as I did, we are states away from each other. So what's that mean? It means that was a pretty good outage. Something happened there then. Let me do this. Let's check this real quick. This might change things. Okay, it ain't a power outage. I can tell you that, because nothing's out here. Okay? That's what this is. That's what this map is. Now, hold on. This is down detector. Okay? Really? Really, Taylor? Yours went out too? Yeah, Quentin, for sure. Oh my gosh, really? If this happened from Australia all the way over here, that's a full that's a full YouTube outage, guys. Let's check some stuff. Anybody, can you guys hear me? Okay. All right. Well, good. Let me, guys, if that happened, it says my stream health is good, but I mean, yeah, people are coming back on. Let me do this real quick. Yeah, Roy, no kidding. Let me say this. If anybody is over at Mark's right now too, tell him I'll come over there in a minute and we'll talk about this, okay? Because I do have some ideas on what's going on. Let's check Twitter. Check that out. Okay, that's Twitter. I think most of us are probably thinking the same thing. Yeah, Jeremiah, for sure. I got something else I can check real quick too. Guys, hang in here with me just for a second, okay? I want to look at something. Well, hold on. Let's just well, because Watch with Wayne was live too.
These people want you dead. And for me to just, you know what, for somebody to come up and do something to me while I'm sitting in the dark and nobody even knows who the fuck I am, boom, I just distant memory from my family and that's it.
Oh no. He's in Canada. Okay. I wonder if he had issue too. Let's do this real quick. Guys, for one thing, you guys should go over here and sub up to his channel.
I'm better to meet this challenge head on, under the spotlight, than to meet it in the dark somewhere where nobody's going to see it.
I will. Menacing, thank you.
That's my reasoning. Or die of COVID. Exactly. So that's why when people are like,
guys, you guys should sub up to Wayne, okay? Anybody's listening to me right now, please go sub up to his channel when we get done here. Tell him you came from Wages World.
So that's my reasoning. So when people say, oh well, this and that, you know, I didn't have a cell phone for almost 2 years prior to buying this thing, and it was only because I was like, well, you know what, I'm on the spotlight now anyway, so I might as well, because I'm broadcasting right now. People know where the hell I am. My enemy knows where I am. But if they come busting through the house right now, they're going to have cameras everywhere. They're going to have a live feed stream on them. I got cameras live feed streaming outside that are going to a remote location right now. So they're not going to be able to do anything without being on record. So if you're going to meet somebody, you're not going to meet them in an alleyway where it's dark.
Yeah, if somebody could figure out if he had issues, I would love to know that.
You're going to meet these individuals that want to do you harm in a public area. This is as public as I can
somebody let him know that if somebody's over in their chat, I think I seen Menacing in there. Menacing, can you let him know, or whoever's listening to me, let him know that it went down in Australia and here and in Connecticut. Indiana, Connecticut, and Australia all lost YouTube for a short amount of time. Let them know that, if you would.
It's just God put me on this path, and for whatever reason,
he may not have had problems. I don't know. That's a good way for us to find out.
I can't explain it, but they do. And not only
thanks, Menacing. Appreciate that.
We have the best community there is on YouTube or any other platform for that matter. We have literally the best community and the best people in our chat. And I'm not just saying that. If you don't think that this is the best chat, jump into one of the other chats and see what they're like.
Hey guys, you know what he's talking about here?
They have a hard time. They have a hard time.
He handles his chat just like I do. He lets everybody say what they have to say, as long as they're just opinions and stuff, as long as they're not attacking people. He does his chat just like mine.
Because they just, with it, or if it was just somebody causing shit in the chat, or in the emails, then it is what it is. But I just
that right there, his name is Wayne. Watch
more,
with Wayne. He's from Canada. Guys, he live streams and he talks about current events and stuff. So just show him some love.
Well, I think you did this for a reason.
Okay. I am going to come off of there though. So yeah, guys. Yeah, I posted it. I thought. Hold on a minute. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, tell him you came over from my channel or whatever. Just tell him hi. And say, hey, I came over from Wages World. Just, you know, just tell him Wages World watches you. I appreciate it. That's okay, Ricky. Yeah, it ain't shameless. Hey, you need to put that out there a chance you get, girl. She's got a channel going too. Yep, watch with Wayne. There's also, his wife has a channel too. She's trying to get it monetized, but she does the same thing. I guess, I don't know if they're married or not, but they have kids together. So, anyway. So yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to what we were talking about. But let me know, guys. I'm sorry I wasn't watching that chat. Yeah, I should have been, I guess. I get sidetracked. But if we lost YouTube for a minute, that's kind of crazy. But I know what everybody's thinking, and I'm thinking the same thing, okay? Yeah, Axe is up there in Canada too, so he knows all about some Wayne. Yeah, he streams for a while. Cool, Susie. Cool. Okay, cool, Tim. And again, guys, don't forget about Mark over there too. I mean, we got a lot of good people in our community. Wayne was just talking about that. And I have to say that we got, you know, Mark's chat, my chat, Wayne's chat, Ron over at Emergency Management, his chat. I mean, all that, guys, we're allowed to say what we think. We give everybody that opportunity. You know why? Because we want to have that opportunity when we go somewhere. So I'm not going to sit here and just try to tell you you can't have an opinion. Not happening. Not at all. I mean, we always preach free speech, no censorship. How can I sit up here and censor somebody after I say that? Not going to happen. I don't care if this is my channel or not. That would make somebody a complete hypocrite. It really would. Very provable. So just know that. And that's why I do what I do. That's why Mark does what he does. People have opinions, and let's just roll with it, you know? As long as it ain't getting nasty and getting personal. How do we ever learn anything new, guys, if we can't listen to each other? Difference of opinions. You will never learn anything after that. And that's sad. Okay, so back at you, Wolfie. Hey, Ricky, let me give you a little bit of advice on that. Said you need to put out a video. You put out a video when you feel like you need to. Because if you force yourself to go put out a video, take it from somebody that's experienced this, it won't be that good of a video. Okay, sometimes I feel like, man, these guys need to see something, you know. Or, you know, I haven't put a video out for a couple days. You know, I kind of feel bad. I'll just throw up a video. That video I put up whenever I'm thinking like that never is hardly ever any good. So, just hold true to who you are. That's what I tell everybody. I told Mark the same thing. Don't change who you are. Don't put a video up just to put a video up. I see it way too much. And, you know, and unfortunately, okay, cool, Angel, thank you. Thank you, thank you. But we do know that it went down here in Indiana, in Connecticut, in Australia. So just know that. Yeah, me and Wayne's not talked before. I've not talked to Wayne before. I just started watching him about a week and a half ago. I just know that he's running a good channel over there. I've been trying to send some people over to the other channel that he's got going on. We've never like physically. I mean, you can tell him. I'd like to talk to him. I would even like, if he would be willing, I would like to interview him. I think it could help his channel. I think it would help build his channel. I'm going to have Mark over here on my channel too. Ricky, I'm getting you all on, guys. I'm telling you. So just know that. That's crazy. But yeah, so again, I also get this, guys, okay? I completely 100% understand when somebody doesn't want to take their content and mix it with mine, because that's kind of what happens if you bring somebody onto your show, because they're kind of saying, well, I agree with what is being said on that channel. He may not believe what I believe, but that's okay with me. I don't care about that. You know, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he may not want to like put the persona out there that he believes what I believe here on my channel. So, and I don't judge people on that at all. It doesn't mean it's a good or a bad thing. It just means that that's just the way that it is, you know? So, that's all. But I am going to get everybody on here. That's my biggest goal right now, because I think we all need to come together and check the electrical grid tool. Okay, hold on. It's a good idea, by the way. Whoever said that. Amy, good job. It's a good idea. Let's check it. What I will say, check this out. Connecticut's over here, Indiana's over here. That's where the activity was at, right there. Wonder, makes you wonder. But at this point, I don't think I would call it an electrical outage. But that definitely might have been something that happened right there. Who knows? Let's see what we can figure out here. Got any new data here yet? Nope. Let's update this thing. That's the bad thing about these tools, guys. They're pretty much just, they're not real time. Okay, they're not. They can't really be, I guess. But notice that things are starting to move a little bit here. So I don't know what's actually going on. The Aurora, look where it's pointed. You see this? That's where the geoelectric field model, did I already get that out of there? See where it's at? Then we go over here. Aurora, geoelectric field. They are confirming that something is right there. So yeah. All right, cool. Hey Carol, can you throw in my email? Tell him to email me, and I will get it. We'll get him on here, okay? Guys, that's one of my goals. I even thought about starting up another channel just to do that. Go around and interview everybody I possibly can. I mean, I'm talking, what's my email? It's not caps, though. Sorry. There you go. Wolfie got it in there. Thank you. So yeah, guys, yeah. I wonder if this thing did anything. This is what we would look at for flares. Thanks, Carol. I appreciate that, guys. I really do. Thanks for hooking me up over there. I didn't really want to. I don't want to show his channel because he deserves the traffic. I would love nothing more than be able to show you guys everything, but I don't do that for a reason. I can sit here and say, hey, I'm going to use it as fair use, but then I'm not helping that person at all. Okay? Because I'm already showing what I want you guys to go see. That's cool, Whitetail. Thank you. But yeah. Is it out of focus? My goodness, man. YouTube is really jacking tonight, man. Alright, well, let's go over this earthquake stuff real quick, and then I'm just going to go ahead and have to kill the stream. Okay? But just know, guys, please go sub up to Wayne. You know, like I said, I found his channel about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. And, man, the guy's down to earth. I love what he has to say. He runs his chat just like we run it here, guys. Everybody's allowed to have an opinion unless it ain't getting vulgar or attacking each other personally. Attack the idea. You know? Just attack the idea. Did it clear back up, E-Rock? You don't have to attack somebody, you know, it's like calling somebody's mama fat or something. I mean, it just doesn't need to be done like that. If somebody comes at me like that, what am I going to do? I'm not going to have anything at all to do with them. I'm not going to listen to anything they say if they come at me sideways. If they want to come at me with respect and try to give me a different side of the coin or a different opinion, that's when I listen. And I have a pretty open mind. I think you guys know that. And, you know, because like I say, the second you think you know everything is the second that you stop learning. You most certainly cannot go any further. You just can't. Oh, really? You listen to me? Hey, Wayne, what's up, brother? I was trying to help your baby mama out, too, yesterday, trying to send some people over there to get her some watch hours. Trying to get everybody, you know, we got to support each other, guys. I mean, honestly. Because I guarantee you, this platform and any other platform out there is not going to do it. It just won't. I've seen it too much. If we're not marching around like little lemmings, and we're stepping outside of that, it just is what it is, you know? I don't know what else to say on that. I think this is, here's his link. There's a link to his channel, guys, if you guys want to go check him out. I would definitely go do that. And again, check out the other channel he was promoting too, so they can get monetized. They need 4,000 watch hours. I think they already got enough subs, but they need 4,000 watch hours to get monetized. Cool, thanks, Justin. So yeah, guys, but listen, you know, we got these CMEs coming, and you know, when we have a power, when my YouTube went down, Mark's went down in Connecticut at the same time. It's probably more of a server issue. I'm telling you, with them messing with the, you know, the parlor thing going on, we've got, you know, all the stuff. Everybody's just moving around a lot, and that can cause issues. It'll bottleneck everything. And you'll start seeing, you know, sporadic outages just on specific platforms. Now, like I said, go to Down Detector if you want to see the actual, like right here. If you go to Down Detector, it'll tell you where YouTube is having problems at. All right, the Down Detector's got it for Twitter. It's got it for FB too, but I'm done with that platform. I mean, seriously. Like I said, I'm shutting my group page down. I'm done with it. So, also, we got this too we can look at. This is just a simple power outage. We'll see what it's, yeah, there's nothing major going on power outage, as far as that goes. but that doesn't mean that they're not having server issues from high activity, okay? So, yeah. And I guarantee you right now, Parler's getting smoked because of what's going on. I promise you that. They're getting smoked by the people that are not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. People like myself. I'll put it to you that way. I'll be over there. I mean, that's just where I naturally navigate, gravitate towards that kind of thing. I'm more of a conservative mindset, but I don't claim to be a Republican or a Democrat. I simply look at the candidates in front of me and I make a decision. That's it. I will not pick a side like that when it comes to that. Not a blanket statement. Not for me. You know how you can walk up to your poll booth and hit vote the Republican ticket? You just hit the one button. I have never done that. Never will. Never will. So just know that. I can't get myself to do it. My parents raised me as, very, very conservative, and I figured out that I was conservative, but maybe not as conservative as them. I think, again, where's the truth lie? The truth is where everybody's ideas overlap. Where my idea, Mark's idea, whoever's idea, Wayne's idea, anybody else that we're talking about, if you really want to know the truth, look at where our ideas overlap. That will be where the truth is. I'm telling you. I mean, that's where it'll be. At least that's been my experience. And so, yeah, I don't know what else to say on that end of it. But with given the geopolitical environment right now, guys, this stuff is not going to slow down. This is just going to get worse when it comes to stuff like this. We've seen it coming for years. Like I said, I've been on YouTube going on 3 years now, and it's been the same since I've been here. It's just slowly getting worse. And you don't even have to support T-Man or anybody else to understand that when you're getting censored, it's wrong. Because eventually, what we're figuring out is, eventually the shoe's going to be on the other foot. If we'd have went back a year and you were talking to a Republican or something like that, there was no way that they would tell you that this was happening, what's happening in front of us right now. They'd have been saying, no way, you're crazy. Well, crazy things happen. And that's exactly what's going on. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go over here to Seeds real quick. I will show you this CME real quick again. All right. Again, I do think this second one that happens here, guys, it could be hitting us here in the next 3 or 4 days. We'll have to wait and see once the tools update. We can look at the near-Earth objects, too. Today is the 8th. Well, we got that one humongous one, 408 meters. But it's 14.8 lunar distances away. If you went to the moon and then you went out 14 more times on out, that's how far it's missing us. They actually consider that a near-Earth object, and let's just be honest, that's not that close. Now, if you take in consideration the vastness of space, yes, that would be close. But for us, no. We've had them, guys, like I said, we can go up here and look, and I can show you where it's been like 0.1, or here's a 0.6. On February 2nd, we're going to have a 7-meter rock pass between us and the moon. Right there. That's what that's telling you. Okay? And that's the speed it's moving. It's moving pretty slow also. So, Billy Bob Thornton said it right in Armageddon. He said, begging your pardon, Mr. President, it's a big-ass sky. Do we actually think they're going to catch all these? No way. No way. So, yeah. Now here's your noctilucent clouds, guys. These are the clouds that form on the poles. They're high up in the atmosphere, and what happens is the vapor gets up there and it freezes around meteor dust. Why does that happen over the poles? Because it's meteor dust and it's probably metallic and it has a magnetic polarity. So they tend to hang around the poles. So there's a season for these. And each season is summertime in each yeah. Sorry. Trying to spit it out there. In each hemisphere's respective season. So right now on the South Pole, it's summertime. That's why you're seeing these things. Now, 6 months from now, we'll see them on the North Pole. So yeah. Yeah, it looks like a snowflake for sure. For sure. Alright, guys. So yeah. This is again the geoelectric field model. That's space weather's effect on our electrical grid. That's what they predict. Now, again, this isn't much of anything, but it is in this area where we had the outages. So, but we also had them go out in Australia. At least that's what Taylor was saying, I think. So, anyway, I do think that I'm going to go ahead and cut this here, guys. Here's the Australian model. You can look at it, but nothing really is going on right at this second with the CMEs, you know, hitting us. But in the next couple days, we're going to have to keep an eye on it. All right. Remember, the filament was here. See that dark spot right here? That's plasma leaving the sun. So what will happen there is, if it's coming at us, it'll definitely hit our magnetic field, and it will give us a jolt. Plus, we are crossing that sheet I was telling you guys about. The heliospheric sheet. And all it is we're changing polarity. We're going into an area of space that has a different polarity. What was negative will be now positive. And when we cross that line, it'll jerk on us a little bit. So that's what happens. So anyway, guys, I do think I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. And I'm going to head over to Mark Pyers. Is he back on? Does anybody know? I'm going to check out Wayne, too, for a little bit. There he is. If you guys want good celebrity impressions, right here it is, man. I'm telling you. Face swaps. He was VH1 Song of the Year finalist a few years back. He invented this beat seat. It's a percussion instrument for a guitar player. The guy's awesome. But anyway, guys, I am going to go over there, and I really hope everybody follows me. Go over here and show them some love, okay, guys? Show Wayne some love too, and support each other and keep moving. So here's Mark's link, and I already gave you guys Wayne's link. But I'll be going over here and be in the chat. God bless. Yahusha saves, and you can drink.